Okay, what we're going to do today is add a University Developer Certificate and Provisioning Profile using Xcode 4.6.3 on a clean machine. Clean meaning that we don't already have any certificates or provisioning files identified, so this should be a clean install. And we're going to follow 12 pretty simple steps. So let's get started. We'll walk through these steps. Move PowerPoint over to the side here and set that up as a slideshow. And we'll get started. The first thing we do is we need to send Professor Papademos an email with your iPhone serial number and your Apple ID. When you receive that email, it's going to look something like this. We just follow the link that's provided in the email. And I'm already a registered developer, so I'll sign in. Actually, what you'll normally get is first a questionnaire page asking you to identify what type of development you're doing. But I've already been through this step, so now I can just click on Submit to actually finalize the invitation to the development team. But I get a message back that says you are already a member of this team because I've already done this before. But at this point in time, your Apple ID is now accepted into the Oakton development team. The next thing we can do is we can go out and take a look at the Apple.Developer Member Center. It's an interesting thing to do here. Let's just go to developer.apple.com. And on this page, we can go right to the Member Center, And what we want to deal with here is certificates, identifiers, and profiles. And here we have it. And this shows me under certificates, I get this screen because I don't have any certificates set up just yet. I could request them manually by clicking here, but the easiest way to do it is just to request the certificates right from Xcode, and that's what we're going to do in this demonstration. Identifiers. There was an identifier identified. These are very difficult to delete, so it's just out there from where we did it the first time. Devices are also difficult to delete, but what I've done on this one is I've already disabled disabled it. We'll enable it later. And for provisioning profiles, again, there's nothing out there. I could do it manually, but we will go ahead and do it using Xcode. Okay, the next step is we could access our keychain. Just for information purposes, if we click on our keychain utility, it shows me right now that I only have two iPhone certificates out there, and these are the ones that I created from my personal certificate, not the ones from the university. So the university one is not out there yet. Nothing's out there yet until we go into Xcode and request that these be downloaded. But here's where the new developer ID will show up. And the next step is to open Xcode. And where's my Xcode? Okay, this is the organizer window. Let me just close that out, show you something you're probably more used to seeing, which is the Xcode target area. Just a little app. There's my slow screen. Sorry about that. My very slow screen. Well, maybe at the end of this course I'll get a faster machine. Okay, so here's just an app that's out there, and again in Xcode I can go to Window and open up Organizer. Again, this, let me make sure you can see this. I already have one provisioning profile out there, but that's again something I had created using my my personal developer ID. This did not come from the university certificate. So the next thing I can do is, most importantly, click on library provisioning files, and down here click on refresh. Okay, it makes sure that I have the right Apple ID and password. And it says that I have no iOS development certificate found for that particular Apple ID. And it will create one for me automatically when I hit Submit Request. Now, I always seem to be getting this error message. The selected team does not have a membership program eligible for this feature. I have a feeling what they're talking about here is that the university program doesn't give us the distribution certificate, which you need to promote your apps up to the iTunes store. So I just click OK on that one, and I believe that's all that's going to happen right now. The next step is to wait about 10 minutes. So I'm going to pause this and I'll be back in a moment. I'm here, and let's see what the next step is. And it says that we now need to plug the phone into the machine, and in Organizer we can click on the device and New so that the phone gets connected to the certificate. So I'll just plug my phone in right now, and here is my phone. By the way, it's also a good idea at this point in time if you want to stop Xcode and restart Xcode just to make sure you have a fresh version. So I click on my my phone, and I can hit the Add to Portal button, and it's going to want to go out to the Apple site. This is the same error message that we saw before. This is telling me that the university certificate does not allow for distribution to the Apple Store. This is an OK message. Click OK. And the next step in Organizer, click on the provisioning library, profiles, and we now want to create a provisioning profile. Hit the plus button. It now recognizes my device. It's pointing to the University Developer Certificate. Select both of those, and we can create a profile name. We'll just call this Class Test, and finish. And here we have the provisioning profile, Class Test. As you can see, this one is associated with my Oakton team, not the Howard Miller team. Here are the list of your teams. We just take this profile and click it. Now, before I do that, let's just follow the instructions carefully here. Click and drag the new profile to the phone. Now, when I click down here, I've got the profiles that were created from my Howard Miller team, and I now have the class test for the Oakton team and a system generated profile also for the Oakton team, but we're going to focus on the one for class test. And we are now done with organizer. So now we can go back into we can go back into close out the organizer window, go back into here, and we need to double check under the target. We want to look at our summary. The bundle identifier, I believe the way it's set up with the university is this can be anything. We have an asterisk in there, which means any bundle identifier will be acceptable. And this bundle identifier comes from when you create the project initially, it comes from the company name, and then appended to that is the project name. So we just have the project name is Sales Prediction, and there's our bundle identifier, Sales Prediction. Now we have to update the build settings. So we click on there, and we come down to the code signing, and we want to assign this to the class test that we just created. I'm going to do that 5 times just to be safe. Second one, third one, fourth one, and the 5th one. So we now are signing our program to the profile which we created. And we should now be able to run or build the program pointing to our device. So this is set up to point to the phone instead of the simulator. And we're going to hit run. And this is a good error message to get. It just says that my phone is locked. So I'm unlocking my phone and hit the run button again. And it now just wants access to my keychain, which is a good thing. I will allow that. Build succeeded. And hopefully, fingers crossed, the app will then appear on my iPhone. The iPhone has gone black, and the app has appeared on my iPhone. So we're successful. And I'll just stop the simulator. The app is still sitting out on my iPhone, and the phone can be unplugged. You can still run the app, show it to your family, show it to your friends, and advance one more time. And congratulations, we're done. We are now official Apple developers.